technical guys. I got to get everything going. Oh, he's ready. All right, what's going on, everybody? John Bagley here, live with Rev It Up at the 64th Annual World of Wheels here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We had one heck of a drive over Wisconsin to get over here with the boys. I think we're delayed about 5 hours. So we're finally here on a Friday night, getting some stuff done. Talked to Dale, talked to Pete, and they wanted to know what was going on, why I wasn't doing anything. And I was kind of waiting for some celebrities to show up. And they didn't show up, so now I can finally start talking to people I want to, which is the car builders and car owners, not the fake people. I didn't tell anybody that. So, but anybody I want to welcome to the show here. I've got Rick Bird, who's the car owner, and I've got Steve Harvey, right?
Bruce Harvey.
Bruce Harvey. Why did you put Steve on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, Steve
Yeah.
Harvey, because I was thinking a comedian. I just started writing.
Oh, okay.
See, that's my fault.
Still Steve Harvey. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you got as much money as him.
Well, he's got a little darker skin than me, but
Well, you got the sweatshirt on. So,
There you go.
So that was totally mine. So Bruce and Rick, the reason why, I saw the car before the year you won. That would have been 2022, correct?
That's
Yes.
correct.
So we have the owner and the builder of the 2022 Riddler Award, and you call it the Sho Bird, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, and then, of course, one of the biggest favors I asked the boys to do is bring the Riddler Award so we could actually prove the essence and the absolute awe of what this car has done. So, I guess start telling me how this all started. I saw the pictures of how it started, how it ended. Who
Well,
came up with the idea? Was
yeah.
the owner the builder? Go ahead, guys.
I had a 32 Chevy about 40 years ago, and it burned up in a fire. I was driving by a junkyard, and they were going to crush this car. So I slipped in, and I knew the owner. He said, well, I'll sell you the car for $300. Got a title, everything. So we took it home. Then Bruce, he did some other work on a 1955 Chevy, and he brought it home to my house one day, and he seen the car in there. And what are you going to do with that? I said, I don't know. I'm going to make a rod out of it, but that's about it. What'd you say, Bruce, to me?
I said, well, we got the truck and trailer here. I said, can I take it home?
And that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we had this close relationship ever since.
Ever since, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we think alike, We both love our ideas. We
Yeah.
kind of like bump heads and move forward.
And about how long? When did you start to build on the show Bird? How long a build was it?
About 2.5 years, but then we took about 6 months off
Yeah,
when
we
COVID
had-
hit because
COVID
Detroit
hit.
was delayed for a year.
Delayed for a year. Yep.
So
And
about
it-
2.5 years.
Give us an extra year to tweak it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
And was the goal of the car right away for a street rod, or did you already know you were going to try to build a Riddler car?
I just wanted a street rod to drive, and he said, we're going to build a car. And that's the way it went.
And that's the way it went.
Yeah. But then, Rick wanted to step it up and he wanted to get a grade 8, and after getting into it, I told Rick, I said, I'm going to give her, and we're going to get that Riddler.
Yeah.
And we got it.
Yep, and Bruce never had one, so he wanted the first one.
Yeah.
So that was one of my questions, because I know you had another one of these before, but this was the first one for
This
you,
is the
Bruce.
first one. This was the big one.
Wow. And that one put you on the map. And how many?
Yes.
So you got about, what did you say, about 2 years in the build?
2.5 years, but about 20,000 hours.
That was my next question. 20,000
Yeah.
hours. And how big is your shop, Bruce? How many-
Mid size, 12,000 square feet.
Okay. And about how many employees you got?
We got 14.
14. Wow, that's a good sized shop.
Yeah.
Great staff.
Yeah. Everybody's got their sweet spot, and that's where they go.
Okay.
And we work as a team, and that's what makes it work.
Yeah. And so who came up with the design for the car?
Well, me and him, and you kind of do it, step by step. I'm a guy that's kind of old school, where you kind of get an idea, and you know what's right, and you kind of roll with that. But as you're rolling, that's when the other ideas pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, Bruce don't believe in rendering.
no,
We just went.
no,
He just went. He just went.
Yeah,
Not all those
yeah.
fancy those drawings and all that stuff. Just go with it.
Right.
yeah. You can't think like that on a rendering. A rendering, then you're kind of stuck with a rendering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But no, we're outside the box.
Definitely. I have to ask, one of the biggest things that catches you from the eye, and I mean, when I first saw it back in 22 in Detroit back there, was obviously the turbos, the twins sticking out the bottom of the grill.
That's a long story there.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
That was Rick's idea. That was
Yeah.
Rick's idea, and everyone in the shop did not like that
Bad
idea,
idea.
except for Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
It's-
told everybody in the shop, you know, I mean, that's what we're all about. You know, I mean, we try not to do anything that's simple
Obviously.
or something that's been done before. So I was all for it, and we did it.
Yep. Yeah, we had the engine all set up, ready, mocked up, ready to go. Then I said, Bruce, we got to put some turbos in there someplace.
Well, that's the difference, right? Because you said when we started this conversation, you said you wanted to build a rod. You
Yeah.
wanted to build some. So rod and turbos, that just doesn't mix.
No.
You know, but you made it work, obviously.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Something you don't see.
Nope,
Mhm.
you
No,
never
and-
see one like that.
And it's just, I mean, the artwork and fabrication is just, and engineering is just unbelievable on this car.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's-
That means a lot.
So Bruce, back to you at your shop. So is everything done in house? The paint, the interior, everything's all done by you there.
Everything is done in house, but you know, we made all the panels for the interior and all that stuff, but we did send it out for covering the panels.
Okay.
But then when we got it back, I wasn't happy with the covering of the panels, so I redid it anyhow.
You redid it.
Yeah, but I'm not an upholstery guy, you know.
Yeah.
But we do have a guy in house now that's been playing around and stuff. Eventually, we'll be doing interiors also.
Okay. Okay. And was that the first design, second design? I mean, as far as the interior, I mean, you knew the colors right away of the car, or how many times do you have to play around with that?
No,
I didn't pick that out. Bruce and my wife did.
you know. Well, Rick's favorite color is orange, so and we wanted to go with that wineberry that's on it, and that's why I tied in orange with the wineberry, and I think it's a great accent.
Yeah, it's. I love the contrast of colors from the body all the way down to the chassis. The contrast of it too. It just a lot of times you wouldn't think that would work, but it really. I mean, what is the color of the car, by the way?
It's wineberry. It's a candy color,
It
you
is a
know.
candy
But there's
color.
like 3 different underbases under it, so it flops more, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
same with the orange glow, you know. Over the Chevy bow ties, that's like 4 different underbases with the orange glow over it.
Okay. Wow. And you know the other thing is the size of the wheels and tires. Who decided that?
I think that was
Bruce.
all me.
Yeah, the stance is unbelievable on the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
It's just so mean looking.
Then he decided to put the hydraulic over cavalier shocks on it.
Okay.
So you can
Yeah.
drop it up and down.
I'll take it up and down.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, we really like that setup too. I mean, get away from air ride with the air leaks. You know, you never have any problems with the hydro shocks.
Yeah.
They work great.
And about how many? Because obviously it's well known. So how much did you chop this car?
5 inches.
5-inch chop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we took 4 inches out of the body, and then we channeled it 4 inches also. So it's like 13 inches shorter. You know, just the body alone.
Yeah, just the body alone.
Yeah. And
Wow.
brought the running boards up. You know, shortened the door, all that stuff.
Wow. So obviously this is not your first roadster build or hot rod build. Obviously.
No,
These old
no,
coupes.
not if you look on your wall right there.
Yeah, that's what was funny before when you did that car, and that one that one was in Detroit at the same time, wasn't it? Or no?
No. That car we built in '09.
Oh wow,
So
that build was
car's
that long
old.
ago.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yep. And you know, the car looks similar, but that's a Ford, and this one's a Chevy. So
Okay.
many people get mixed up with it because you know usually don't see Chevys, you always see Fords.
Yeah, you always see it that way.
And the reason is Chevy's got so much wood in them. You got to get rid of all that wood, and you got to redo all the inner panels, you know, everything. So
Where
they-
Ford is just all steel. You can just
more,
start chopping.
a
and
lot
cutting.
more steel. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So the like the one on the wall over there, was that the past one that you did in there? Was that any inspiration or any thought on that one transfer over to the build on this one on the Sho Bird?
Well, you know, when I was building the Sho Bird, I was trying to stay away from it, you know, but they're so similar, you know, and when you want big tires and everything, it starts looking similar. But they're a lot different when you know, I mean, if you put the cars together, they're totally different.
Okay. So when you did in all the Riddler Award, I guess with all the Riddler rules and renderings that you have on, this was the same rules that you couldn't show the car, you couldn't do anything until it got premiered
That's correct.
over in Detroit, correct? Right?
Yes, and you better make sure it runs.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure it runs and it
Yeah,
works.
yeah. Runs, drives, steers, brakes.
brakes.
It's got to do all that stuff in front of the judges, then you drive it to your spot.
And you drive it to your spot, right?
Yeah.
Now, so in a 2-year build that you were doing it, how many times or how hard was it for you to keep your any pictures anything from showing anybody?
Oh,
Rick?
no, that wasn't bad.
No.
That wasn't bad?
No, not at
Oh, I know.
all.
I hear from some people it's really hard to do because everybody wants to
Well,
leak
we
some.
we didn't tell anyone or anything, and they just got word of mouth.
Oh, they just got word of mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we were so scared of that happening. That,
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to keep it quiet.
Yeah, it is a big. It is pretty crazy the builds and the people that are going through with it all, that they can keep a full shop and everybody that they know all quiet on a build before the premieres out in Detroit over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen some people get disqualified.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't think it's serious, but you can get disqualified. Yeah,
Oh,
real
yeah.
fast if
I
it's leaked on you.
couldn't imagine. Rick would be so mad at me.
No, Rick. Obviously, I can't imagine this is like your first build or first car. I mean, you've had probably got a long history of rods and cars, right?
Yeah, I've had rods and cars, but never this caliber.
Never this caliber. Okay. What made you decide to step it up to this notch? Just something to do, or just something that you bucket list, or what?
When he took the car and called me about 2-3 months later, he said, "Hey, we chopped this car and stuff." He said, "I think we're going to go for a Riddler." And I said, "What?" And then
That's a big step.
"Yeah, just give me a grade 8." My wife's saying, "How much is it going to cost?"
Yeah, I was.
You can't worry about that.
Yeah, if you want to be anywhere, even in the grade 8, there's no open checkbook. honey.
right.
It's
Yeah.
open
When you
checkbook.
when you get 3/4 there, you can't stop.
No,
No,
no, and there's so many of them that, I don't want to say about the average builder or the average car shop. Once they go from even being on the regular floor, from just getting a place first, second, or third in their muscle car, or street ride class, or 4x4 class, then get to the next level of the grade 8 or even a Riddler, the hours and the money and the time, it just blows them away.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
It blows them
Yeah.
away. I mean,
Yeah.
last year, obviously we were there last year, and we talked to Dave, and you were just talking about how Dave signed to our desk here about the 12-air car and the numbers that came out on that car, and somebody's like, "You got to be that can't be right. That's a joke." I'm like, "Well, figure out the man hours."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just said in this car, well, you said what, 20,000 hours?
20,000 hours.
20,000 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the ticket on Dave Kindick's car?
Yeah.
How much was it?
3.5 mil.
3.5.
Yeah.
I heard a few different numbers, and I was just curious.
Yeah. And that's the number we were told by that party in that camp over there.
Okay.
And I believe that was, I think, a 5-year build. Is that right? 4 years. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing that I look at, and obviously you gentlemen too, you've been doing this your whole life, coming to shows your whole life, how the bar has been raised over the years. It's just with the technology and everything that's out there between paint and machine work and everything that you can do in technology. Look what you guys are doing with these cars. It's
Right,
unbelievable.
right. Well, back in the day, though, when Chip Foose was still really heavy into building Riddlers, I remember 05 when he brought the Impression.
Mm-hmm.
And that car there in 05 was 2.2 million.
Yeah.
So that would be, 3 times the money maybe.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that was, Chip Foose was putting out some serious stuff back then,
Oh. Yeah.
But ever since then, I think the bar went down a little bit, and then Rick came around.
Yeah.
You get, I got to ask you. So as far as obviously we've said a couple names here, we've put out Dave's name, we've seen Chip's name. Who's out there right now that you think is on the top car builders around right now?
Well, Dave's the
Besides
scariest.
yourself, so.
Yeah, Dave's the scariest to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I really don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good builders out there right now, but I just don't know if they're into it like we are.
Yeah.
It's in my blood now. I got goosebumps right now, and we're not stopping. you
Yeah.
know. Rick here wants to build another one.
Come on, really,
Oh,
Rick?
yeah,
Do you really?
Yeah.
You can't get
As
it
a matter
up.
of fact, he's so serious about thinking about building another one. We're building one.
I knew. Okay, there we go. There we go. Well, I mean, if you need a place to put the trophy or the car, I mean, I do have extra spot in my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I mean,
that-
I'd be well to take care of it for you.
That was part of the problem. I made this huge place for all the Riddler trophies, and one doesn't look good up there. Two doesn't look good up there.
Yeah.
So we have to get more.
And how many are in the collection right now?
We got two, and we got two in the making right now.
Yeah, yeah. So, and what? So your shop? We talked a little bit before because I'm from Wisconsin. You had a shop in Wisconsin there
I
for a
did.
while.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I bought an old dealership, and I had 100 cars in there. But back in the day, I was just painting cars. You know, I had 100 cars in that building just painting.
Wow.
So, and that was back in the day when graphics were starting to come around, and every car was so busy with graphics. So,
A lot of stuff.
I got a lot of experience there. You know, and just kept rolling.
The so amongst the shows that you've taken here for around World of Wheels and the circuits and everything you've been to, where else have you showed the car and what's next for the car?
Well, Rick, you want to answer that?
Yeah, we're probably going to finish up here. We never did no outdoor shows.
Okay.
So we're going to take good guy shows.
I was just gonna good guys.
And
Probably
I
love-
want to take it to the Triple Crown. I'd like to win that.
yeah, you'd like to win that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Triple Crown is like, fresh and new, and I think it's going to grow. you know.
Has this one been the Grand National Roadster too?
Oh,
Yeah. They keep calling me. They want to start a thing, East versus the West.
Okay.
And they want us to bring it, but it always interferes with Detroit.
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that's where, excuse me, that's where a couple of cars, we do the circuit too, and they want to show us, and they want to know why we're never at there to do the recordings, do everything. I'm like, well, we're not missing Detroit. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not just,
Right.
I can't. To me, that's the holy grail. It is of
Right,
all
yeah.
shows.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. It's a
just-
Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But, yeah, for doing that as far as it goes. Now, obviously, you've had this thing going in and out before in the shows. Have you ever actually driven it down the street anywhere yet?
we drove it SEMA. Was the
Yeah,
first
SEMA.
one.
SEMA was the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Around,
drove
yeah.
it around the block down there.
Okay.
More or less. And of course, the shows we've driven it all in too.
Okay.
And out. But as far as going down the street, that's why we're going to get ready to do some outdoor shows.
That's where you do some
Yeah,
outdoor shows.
yeah.
Are you anxious to drive it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't spend that kind of money and leave it look at the garage.
Well, some people do, and some people don't. You know, we were kind of talking about that
Yeah.
before about some people. Remember back in the day when we used to do these shows, and a lot of the cars they would used to get busted, like the George Barris cars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Oh, there's no pistons in those motors, and there's nothing in there. There's show cars being pushed around there, nothing. Even the rear end housings. Nobody ever believed that there was nothing inside them. So it's a little different now. You got to prove it now.
Yeah, that's why they changed the rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Rick was saying, we want to get it outside, but we got to change the rotors and stuff like that because we got felt pads on it. So
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Once we change them, then that's it. We're going outside.
Then you're going outside. Okay. So amongst everything that you want to hear, both of you feel fully accomplished with the car? Everything and more?
We'll tell you tomorrow morning.
Well, I mean, it's been. I mean,
Yeah,
No, we
I'm
accomplished.
living a dream.
I kind of figured that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda
we
living the
both
dream.
are.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
We
I mean,
think-
Bruce, you ever think you'd be doing to this level?
5 years ago, I would have never guessed. Yeah, I was going towards more the SEMA field. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, because that seems the way it's going. But things kind of changed, and I love the way it went.
You love the way it went.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I didn't think I'd ever get the chance. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because it's been a dream of mine for 40 years too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And so
Yeah.
before that, when you were doing the regular show cars, or like the builds we see on the wall over there and stuff like that, those were just regular show cars for customers, and
You're right,
never went to
right.
that level.
Yeah. Well, the Radical Rod, I just built that. That was supposed to be my economy build. But once you get into a car like that, it's hard to stop. I went way too far with it.
Where is that car today?
in
In
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
It is. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's still beautiful. He still looks the same way.
Well, I talked to the new owner, and he loved it, and he said it looks great. So I haven't seen it. You were in Kentucky last weekend for the World of Wheels, and I thought maybe it'd pop up. It'd be kind of cool to put them next to each other, you
Yeah.
know, but we didn't see them.
Huh. That's something else. So you've got next in line, obviously you want a couple more trophies. You want a couple more of these in the showcase, right? More Riddler Awards, right?
Yes. both
Never
of
enough.
us.
Never enough.
You never know. So after you do a Riddler car and you win an award, how does the clientele change for the shop? Does
get-
everybody say, I want a Riddler car? Is that how it works?
Well, it slowly builds, and it continually builds, but you get that respect.
You get the respect.
Oh, yeah.
The respect has to go to a greater level once you win the award.
Right. Yeah, you can't take it away from you, so that's
No.
great.
No, it's amazing. Just seeing the trophy. Just even sitting here, it's just an amazing piece.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You can rub it all day long and you still want to rub it longer.
We are still talking trophies, aren't we?
Well, there's nothing better than rubbing this baby.
I can. I'll never say this to another man, but I don't mind rubbing yours either. And thank you for letting me do it.
There you go.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Well, you guys, thank you very much for coming over and talking about the Sho Bird. It's just an amazing, beautiful piece. I've admired the car for years, and finally being able to, bring it over here and actually, having Mike Waltenberry carry the trophy across the floor.
Yeah.
So that's it.
He's got to carry it back, too.
He's got to carry it back too. That's for sure. He's going to do it. You become a legend in these parts.
It doesn't feel like it yet, but, I'm still soaking it in.
You're still soaking it in.
Yeah.
You're very humble yet, which I love about car builders that are doing it yet.
Right.
You know, 'cause-
I'm so just happy to be here. I'm happy to be up with the best.
Yeah, and it's like I said, going around the area, and you have, it's 3, right? You have 3 builds here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have 3 builds, and they're
Yeah. One's a grade 8 and 2 Riddlers.
yeah. So can it get any better?
Oh yeah, it's going to get better.
Oh yeah, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
You
talk
can't
to
go
your
backwards.
I'll talk to your agent over there in the corner. Apparently.
No, me and Bruce get along good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So the question I had for you guys: how long do you guys know each other before this started?
Well, tell how this started. I shouldn't say this, but I have a '55 Chevy,
Okay.
and it was supposed to go to Kending, and he told me, "Well, we'll bring it out here, but we'll put it in storage for a couple of years." I didn't want to wait, so I seen his advertisement, so I thought, well, I'll stop and check his shop out and things. And that's where I met Bruce, and he came in the next week and got the 55, did a super job on it. We won a lot of things with it, and then that's where it took off. When he brought my 55 back from the show, he said, I'm taking that. He said, or what'd you say? You said, what are you going to do with that?
I said, yeah. I said, can I take it home?
Yeah, you said, can I take it home? I said, take it home. We'll just make a rod, and then it just went from there.
And it
We've been
went from there.
Close ever since for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So now that's a funny story, because obviously when you first sat down, you knew that was Dave's signature on my table.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here with the 2-time Riddler Award winner and a
Yeah.
grade 8 winner, and you were supposed to take the guy next to you over to Kendrick. Does Dave know this story?
No, Dave doesn't know. Dave doesn't like to talk to us.
No, we won't go there.
Oh,
I
boy.
always wanted to go up to him and say, how many Riddlers did you get?
Oh,
But,
the
I
respect and the
really,
digs
I really
amongst
don't know
the-
Dave, so I can't say
No,
much,
He's a good builder. We
Yeah,
respect
no,
him.
Oh,
his
he's-
work is incredible.
Yeah, all you got, the best part about this whole community, about the industry and the community, that you guys, the respect you have for each other at builds, at the building, even last year in Detroit and all the stuff with the Riddler and stuff. We had Chip. Well, actually, Chip was in our booth last year because he did a bike for me here, and we premiered at World of Wheels last year in Detroit for the Triumph Company. And we went over there, and he went through, and he was looking at all the cars before the announcement of the Riddler and everything like that. And Chip was just all over the place, jumping in and out of booths and thanking guys and talking about their cars. And he'd be just like, "All right, I got to go," and he'd just leave. But the respect, even talking with the guys on the podcast and whatever, the respect that you guys have for each other, it's just a different level of that. Because the quality you guys have and the respect you share, I think is really great.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's great for the whole industry and shows people anybody can do it. Look at you just said 5 years ago you had no idea what would happen to you.
Right. Yeah, you just got to give her hell, that's all.
Mm-hmm. So if I could get the guy who carried the trophy to dedicate his shop a little more, maybe he'd even get a car to a show once. But maybe Bruce, do you have a mentoring class I could maybe get have you talked to this guy a little bit?
Well, there's a price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you carry this for a year and a half, maybe we'll think about it.
Well, I don't want him to drop it, but he probably would do about 4 laps with that thing around there, just going around. So that'd be pretty funny.
That would.
Wait a minute, they're like, wait,
You
we
get
might have-
everybody's attention, that's for sure.
Yeah. You have to go around the whole show 4 times and say, "Did you see the Riddler car? Did you see the Riddler car?" We might have to do that.
Yeah.
So, Well, guys, thanks for being on, and then we'll talk to you later on this
Okay,
weekend about
thanks
it.
for the invite.
Yeah, definitely.
thank
No,
you.
I'm so glad to be able to talk to you guys, and again, much respect, and it's just amazing seeing a Riddler trophy sitting here on the old podcast board here, and it's great. You know, I'd like to keep it for the weekend if I could. So, I won't touch it more than a couple hundred times a day.
You know, wear the chrome off.
I would, yeah. The chrome looks good, the holes look good. Okay, anyways, everybody. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for being on the show, and
Thank
stay
you.
tuned for
Thank
next
you.
episode.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks,
Yeah.
guys.